This evening, let's answer a question from social media. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. All class, all the time. This is the Lama you were looking for. This evening, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as profoundly as Qui-Gon Jinn on Naboo, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any point during this evening's live stream you have a question about Buddhist or Taoist meditation or philosophy or even chanting, there is no need to be shy. Simply type your question in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen in great detail. Okay, this is a long one. Gotta warn you, folks. Anyone here do meditation without beliefs in the spiritual? Now, before he gets to that, he drops a bomb. I'm a 26-year-old male. A few years back, I left my religion I was raised into after research and deep depression. That's a big asterisk right there. Right here. Let's keep your eye on this. I've been dealing with chronic pain as well as some mental health stuff for over 10 years now, mainly due to my physical health. I have been up and down in terms of depression and anxiety, and often find it hard to manage along with my physical health. I'll get better for a while and then fall back into depression. I've tried a lot, but my health and a lack of a relationship always brings me down. So I want to touch on this for a minute. Number one, depression is huge. It's a set of psychological symptoms and physiological symptoms of a physiological disorder. This is important. You can't positive think your way out of a physical disorder. But let's look at here. Lack of relationship. We are not monitor lizards looking to bite some ankle of a passerby. We are mammals, and as mammals we evolved to bond with members of our tribe and our herd and our pack. As mammals we evolved to treasure our relationships as if our lives depended on them, because in a very real sense they did. And the genes are wired to punish us if we don't have what we need to survive. We experience physical and emotional anguish if we don't have enough food, shelter, clothing, if we don't have enough meaningful relationships, if we're not using our talents to the fullest capacity, our genes are going to slap us upside the skull. So if you are in anguish due to a lack of a relationship, that is not a sign of weakness. We are wired for that. Now, let's continue. I feel like I have a few friends who really understand and want to help. I had a really good friend, but now she's saying I'm too depressing and she doesn't want to talk to me too much. She says she needs time to herself, even though I've always wanted to help her as well. So, number one, not everybody can be our friend. Just because we love somebody platonically or otherwise doesn't mean they're going to love us platonically or otherwise. As a little boy, I remember in a peanut strip, a very old peanut strip, that whose paper was brown even when I read it as a child. Ooh, way back in the... Gosh. I probably received this way back in the early 70s, late 60s, and even then it was brown with age. So this is an old comic strip from Peanuts. And there was a conversation between Violet, who you seldom hear of anymore in Peanuts, and Charlie Brown. And Violet was saying, I don't want to be your friend, Charlie Brown. What about a fair weather friend? Not even a fair weather friend. And it doesn't matter why someone doesn't want to be our friend. If they don't want to be our friend, we have to respect that. We really, really do. And there are going to be some people who are unable to deal with others' needs, and without feeling like their needs are getting crushed. And you could have done everything right and still not being able to be that person's friend. It's disappointing, but it's going to happen. Let's continue. Always I find myself very isolated and down and wish I had someone that I could talk about personal stuff with. I used to do some meditation, so we're going to stop right here before we get to the meditation bit. So now I'm going to switch pages on the OBS Livestream software and go to button 8. I guess that's button 8 right there. So I'm now going to click this button here. And that is odd. Where is my current live? Okay. This is... Oh, here it is. This is it? Nope, no, it's not. Okay, this is Tuesday evening. So weird. It's so weird that I can't find this right now. Let's go back to home. Maybe it's playing there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Tuesday evening meditation. Excellent. Okay. Whew, that was exciting. So, when we scroll down in the description area below the video, under the heading of vegan education, there is a bit that reads, find a plant-based physician. And then there's a link to pcrm.org/find a doctor. Listen, if your psychiatrist is unable to help you with your depression or things that feel like depression, if your emotions are undermining your ability to thrive, or what feels like your emotions are underlying your ability to thrive, then find a physician, an MD, who practices psychiatry in a manner that is informed by the latest peer-reviewed studies exploring the interface, the correlation between the symptom set of depression and gut dysbiosis, as well as systemic inflammation. That will go those two things can create the symptom set of depression. That is counseling proof. And when those things are remedied, sometimes the symptom set of depression fades within a week. This is amazing, really important stuff. So use this link. It's free, for goodness sakes. Now, I'm going to return to the page. So, let's continue. I used to do some meditation and listen to binaural beats and stuff, especially back when I believed in more of the spiritual stuff. I've only recently started getting back into meditation. When I'm restless and can't sleep, I've tried listening to some I am affirmation videos while meditating that I have had some success with calming me down, some enough so I can calming me down, so, enough so I can get some sleep after listening to some. This is the word "some" is repeating, Senor. I have found some good ones, but also many of the meditations out there are mixed with New Age type spiritual stuff I don't believe in. I'm just curious, how many people do meditation without spiritual stuff? There you go. That is the most important. Well, to me, that's what really intrigues me about this. So, first we have to define what is spiritual stuff. Is the spiritual stuff you're referring to the beliefs and entities that are beneficial and chakras and energy and stuff like that? Or are you referring to things like love? Love is very powerful. fMRI studies show the empathy center of the anterior cingulate gyrus, the veritable hub of our mirror neurons, lighting up when empathetically. So this is not mystical woo-woo stuff. This is stuff that's validated in what's it called? Laboratory settings. Additionally, there is the autonomic nervous system, whether it's the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the thoracic region of the spinal cord, or the parasympathetic nervous system ensconced in both the lumbar and the cervical region of the spinal cord. These two symptoms, sympathetic and parasympathetic, are integral to noticing things vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, as well as then physically relaxing and mentally releasing them. These two aspects of our autonomic nervous system are integral to the Buddha's style of meditation. This requires... Now, there are all types of teachers of Buddha's meditation, some wise, some foolish, some honest, some deceitful, some with great intellectual integrity, some with profound intellectual laziness. But if you find a good teacher or a good author, you can not only learn, but master the Buddha's style of meditation in a very short period of time, based not on fantasy or superstition, but rock-hard science. Now, I would love to start chanting and meditating with you, but we're going to take 1 minute for housekeeping. 4 times a day, I live stream meditation classes without any ads, health permitting. With your assistance, this channel could help to support the next generation of nuns, monks, yogis, lamas, and even brick-and-mortar meditation centers, each replete with a resident teacher and their apprentice. If this speaks to you and you'd like to help out even for as little as the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month, simply use your smartphone's camera to capture this QR code. Or if you're old school, scroll down and click one of the donation links in the description area below the video. Let's begin by experiencing bliss and letting go. This technique is known by many names, including Tikle from the Dzogchen tradition. All we're going to do is press our palms together in alignment with our center line in the region of our chest while chanting, or chanting percussively while performing a golf clap. These things will help to center sensations in our body that feel like energy. If you've just joined, when you have a question about Buddhist or Taoist meditation or philosophy, or chanting, type that question in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. The noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, while practicing the deep practice of Prajnaparamita, looked upon the 5 skandhas and seeing they were empty of self-existence, said, "Here, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not separate from form, form is not separate from emptiness. Whatever is form is emptiness, whatever is emptiness is form." The same holds for sensation and perception, memory and consciousness. Here, Shariputra, all dharmas are defined by emptiness, not by birth or destruction, purity or defilement, completeness or deficiency. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no sensation, no perception, no memory, and no consciousness. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, and no mind. No shape, no sound, no smell, no taste, no feeling, and no thought. No element of perceptions from mind to conceptual consciousness. No causal link from consciousness to old age and death. No end of causal link from consciousness to old age and death. No suffering, no source, no relief, no path. No knowledge, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, without attainment, Bodhisattvas take refuge in Prajnaparamita and live without the wall of the mind. Without walls of the mind, and thus without fears, they see through delusions and finally accomplish nirvana. All Buddhas, past, present, and future, also take refuge in Prajnaparamita and realize and excel perfect enlightenment. You should therefore know that the great mantra of Prajnaparamita, the mantra of great magic, the unexcelled mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, which heals all suffering and is true, not false. The mantra in Prajnaparamita is spoken thus: Gate gate para san gate bodhiswaha. We now come to awareness and letting go. It too is known by many names, such as slicing through or trekcho from the tradition of Dzogchen. So we're going to sit with our legs crossed and a folded blanket under both our tuchus and our legs to keep our ankles happy. Between our folded blanket and our tush, we're going to put a circular cushion known as a zafu. Now that we're sitting in a stable manner, we're going to take a deep breath with our belly and breathe out forcefully. Let's bend to the right. Let's bend to the left. Let's find equilibrium. Ears in a line with shoulders, nose in a line with navel. Let's fold our hands in our lap and breathe gently, and breathe naturally. Meditate. So I call this proto-Zen because I rely heavily upon the writings of Bodhidharma, the man credited with bringing Mahamudra meditation, also known as jhana, into China. He was fond of both meditation and contemplation, as he described in his composition known as Outline of Practice. So our mind can be very much like a doggy or a kitty. Sometimes they rest curled up on the floor in a patch of sunlight. Other times they have the zoomies and they run about. Having the zoomies is not a flaw, it's a feature. When we have the zoomies and our mind is energetic, that is a great opportunity to play with these rhetorical questions. When our mind is settled down and sitting still sounds delicious, then we can play with the actual meditation. So, as I mentioned, these are rhetorical questions, but you don't have to actively strive to answer them. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the first half of the rhetorical question. As we breathe out, we silently and mentally recite the second half of the rhetorical question. This first rhetorical question helps us to shed the victim mentality. The second rhetorical question helps us to be more peaceful. The third rhetorical questions helps us to get comfortable and even make a habit out of letting go. The fourth rhetorical question helps us train the neural pathways responsible for empathy. Every time we breathe in, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. Every time we exhale, we silently and mentally access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired to both physically relax and mentally release. As we breathe in, we could silently and mentally recite sitting tall. As we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite relaxing. This is not concentration. We will notice things. We will notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. We will notice sights, scents, sounds, flavors, sensations, and the like. That's fine. We neither chase after them nor run away from them. We let them come, we let them go, we hang out. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Let's meditate. Let us seal our practice with a chant. Actually, 3. Let us begin with the ethics of kindness. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness, flow spontaneous and uncontrived. Let us turn our attention now to universal auspicious rebirth. May each being take auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's path, and then help others do likewise. And now let us conclude with the 4 immeasurables. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, freed. If you feel I have earned it, type something in the chat window. Give this live stream a thumbs up and share it on social media. In about 11 hours or so, I look forward to leading tomorrow morning's early morning meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.